Hey there, Pisces. Welcome to your reading for the week. Or no, this is for the next 3 months. Just kidding. April, May, and June. We're going to do quarter 2 reading. You have this focus card and this gateway card. I do feel that your focus is increasing. I mean, again, you're getting a huge break now in quarter 2 from all like the retrograde energy and the eclipses and all that other good stuff. I really, as I've said to you before, I think that Pisces year really starts in May. So, the April might be a little bit slower, although, again, I don't really feel this is a bad thing because it will be much better than what you've been dealing with since November. Not that things have been bad, I just think that since November, it's been a very introspective time, probably a lot of memories from the past as well since November. And, not in a bad way, but, there could have been moments where you started to get worried that, something from your past was going to happen again. And, I'm talking about, problems or issues or things that you've dealt with in the past. Maybe you had something similar come up during those months, November till basically the beginning of April. And so you start with this focus card, and I feel you are much more focused. If you've been looking for an answer, or if you've been trying to find something, look, specifically on like what to do with your life, I feel that you could be stepping through a gateway here, Pisces, that is kind of like a good direction for you and something that feels right. And so I get this feeling of more kind of like knowing and understanding the direction in your life and the things that you want to accomplish. So that feels really good to me. You have the 4 cups, the devil, and the 7 of cups. I think it's time for Pisces to take everything they've learned and to kind of like apply it to something much bigger than themselves. This could be like a personal project. It could just be the way you live your life. It could be your health. But, it's like I think a lot of Pisces don't realize or their power. And like I've kind of said this to you before, that, you probably do have very good ideas about like how to live life or whatever, but it's like you have to prove it. And I kind of feel the 4 cups is saying, he's been disappointed before, like 3 times before, and now he's getting a new offer to do something new with his life, and he has to mix these cups together. Those cups, they represent kind of like ingredients that he has, that if he mixed those together and took the lessons he learned and applied it to this new situation, things would go really well for him, or he might have a very positive outcome because of it. So I think it's time for you to have that positive outcome. I think it's time for you to get to work and mix things together with this card. Next, you have the devil. I would definitely be careful in like April because there could be like a past person who tries to come back who thought the grass would be greener on the other side with that 4 cups. Again, I don't really feel the devil is like bad in this reading necessarily. I mean, I think it would it would kind of be a repeat cycle, so I guess it would be bad in that sense, right? But it's really time for Pisces to value themselves more. And it's like when you go, if you go back to a person who didn't value you, then it's almost like you're saying, I don't work, I'm not worth value, or I'm not the type of person that's worth being valued, right? So I get something more about value on the devil card, which kind of makes sense because this quarter, right at the beginning of the quarter, we had Venus and Mercury, depending on when you're watching this video, retrograding back into Pisces. They're all going to be moving into Aries, back into your 2nd house. And, really a key word for you. And there's going to be a ton of energy moving through your 2nd house. Like all the planets that are staying behind, Neptune's moving into Aries, or depending on when you're watching this. If I am publishing it before it officially moves in, but if you're watching it after, then it is in Aries. So everything's going to be about value to you, for you, and needing to make sure that you are getting value, or needing to make sure that you're not selling yourself short is definitely like one of the habits that I would work on with this devil energy for sure. You have the 7 of Cups, still a little bit of vision being an issue here. 7 of Cups is too many options, right? And so I feel it's time for Pisces to kind of like whittle down their options and kind of get to the point. And maybe that's really what this reading is saying, is that you're getting to a point in your life. You have the Ace of Swords coming up in your third row. So it looks to me like a lot of you have been kind of like doing a lot of work and experimenting in life, and the Ace of Swords is kind of getting to the point. He has too many options on this card, some of them good, some of them are bad, and he kind of needs to make a decision on the Seven of Cups. So some of you could be making some decisions over this quarter, which also makes sense, where you could be deciding like what direction you want to move in your life, like who you want to be when you grow up. Even if you're 90 years old, you could finally be making that decision. With the Four of Cups, you have the Five of Cups. Yeah, someone has regrets here. So again, I would be careful. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with, forgiving a past person or anything like that. So you might be forgiving a past person, but it just looks to me like someone coming in with an apology or something like that. The other thing I would say is in your second row, you have like new love coming in. And, I feel this is like a person who will value you and see your value right away and all that other good stuff. So, I would definitely say forgive and move on this situation. With the Devil, you have the Hermit. Yeah, you haven't heard from this person for a while, Pisces. I think it's been, a while, maybe. The Hermit is like being in hermit mode, but it's like one of those things where it's like, think about, if you've been waiting for a while, it's like, think about how long it took that person. It's like, your value should be obvious, right? And I think that the next few months, especially with the stuff moving into your second house, and for the next many years with Neptune moving through Aries in your second house, like I said, it's going to be all about value and making sure it's like your value is obvious and you need to live like that in work, in business, in love, with your friendships. And you need to stop trying to, people please. It's like when we try to get people to see our value, we are basically people pleasing, right? And so I feel this is saying like, no, your value is obvious and people just choose not to see it. And so, that's what I would be careful of moving forward. And not even just these next few months, but for the next several years. With the Seven of Cups, you have the Two of Swords. Yeah, having a hard time making a choice. I really don't see this as a problem for you, Pisces. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I think it's like a little bit annoying. I'm annoyed by it as well. So I'm a Pisces. I totally get it. But it's like, I think I said this to you, or I said this to someone last week. It's like right now, beginning of April, where it's like, imagine having a puzzle, and it's like, some people do a puzzle and they do the edges first, right? And then they fill in the middle. It's like April is like, we have the edges of the puzzle done, but we have to like fill in the middle of the puzzle. And so I think between now and September, a lot of us are, kind of like filling in those gaps and, trying to figure out like what the big picture of our life looks like or what it should look like, but we don't know because we haven't put the pieces together yet. And so, part of your solution here, Pisces, to get clarity is going to be is like exploration or experimentation with the Chariot, going on adventures and like finding things that bring you love, joy, happiness, peace with the Ten of Cups. I would also say like research and learning with the Ace of Swords. I would also say that curating your environment. It kind of looks to me like you have three things to do: explore, learn, and then also learn with the High Priestess, which we'll talk about in a minute. And then Nine of Pentacles is creating an environment of success. It's like, how can you make your life easier? And we'll talk more about that when we get to the Nine of Pentacles. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this Mending card and this Between Worlds card. April is a great month for healing, so anything you can do to stay healthy, to make sure that you're staying healthy, is a good idea. I feel some of you are just doing a lot of work on yourself in general, so if you're doing work on yourself, that's going to be good. The Between Worlds card I love. This flamingo is going from like black and white to color, and you have the Ten of Cups as well. Ten of Cups is kind of like fortune after difficulty. This Between Worlds card is kind of also like fortune after difficulty. So there could be like a lot of benefits or good things coming in for you after a difficult period of time, or things, it's like the energy is lightening up. You have the Ten of Cups, the Knight of Cups, and the High Priestess. Again, Ten of Cups can be like fortune after difficulty or happy home, happy family. Definitely very good for love. There's a little bit of love here. You have the Knight of Cups. So if you want love, could be a new love connection coming in this quarter. Again, I've said to you in the 2025 reading that this year is a good year for Pisces for love, and especially like when we get to May. And that doesn't mean that you couldn't find it in April, but I'm just saying like May is a really good month for love for Pisces. So, could be a really good connection. I think this is a person who like immediately sees your value. It's like, there's nothing to prove to this person. They'll just see it. So, that might be a little bit of a clue for you. The Ten of Cups, I do feel, is encouraging you to have more happiness in your life. Again, these people are standing in the real world, but they're focusing on what is making them happy, these 10 Cups. So I think you need to do more things that make you happy. I kind of feel a little bit of balance on this card because you do have the Devil. And one thing about the Ten of Cups is that it can be a little bit delusional. Now, here's the thing, is that Neptune is moving into Aries. Neptune in Pisces is delusion. It is completely delusional energy. So for now, I wouldn't worry too much about this. But Neptune later on in the year will retrograde back into Pisces. So there's still a little bit of that delusional energy that's floating around. The thing with the Ten of Cups is that we just can't get high on our own supply. It's like if you're working on something and it's working, in like work or business, don't get lazy. If you're in a relationship, same thing. It's like sometimes I think we let ourselves go in a relationship and we get lazy and we stop doing the things that, made the relationship successful in the first place. And so, the Ten of Cups is good. It could say you're feeling good, but it also says make sure to do the things that make you feel good, and make sure that you develop good habits. Right? The Devil is about bad habits. The Ten of Cups with the Ten of Cups here, we would say maintain the good habits that lead to success. And so there's like a little bit of responsibility here. And we still have Saturn in Pisces, which is making you have to be responsible. Right? You have the Knight of Cups. I definitely feel there could be love coming in for you. I feel like this person very clearly sees your value. Like I said, this person could be coming from a distance as well. You have the Chariot here. Could be any sign. You have like Earth and Water really stand out to me in this reading, which is like pretty obvious for Pisces, but could be any sign. And I feel this person could definitely be like a really solid type of person here. I feel like it has to get going. Like he has to plant seeds in front of this water and he has to get them to grow. And we have a lot of very dreamy fantasy energy in this reading. 7 of Cups, 10 of Cups. The Knight of Cups is dreamy. He kind of escapes into fantasy sometimes. So I do feel that if you are meeting a person, that it's saying like make sure to do the things that actually make it a reality. I always say that the problem with Neptune and Pisces is that the fantasy is kind of more attractive than the reality. That's how we can end up in a connection where it's like we only text with the person. We never actually do anything with the person, right? Or whatever. So I feel this is saying like make sure to make it a reality. You show up as yourself, which is great. Whenever you show up as yourself, puts you in a position of power and strength and really allows you to get what you want from the reading. So the High Priestess is about trusting your intuition, of course. I do feel that this card is saying there are going to be mysteries over the next few months, and you need to look into those mysteries. The thing about the High Priestess is she has to peek behind the curtain. It's kind of like there are certain things where you have to see how the sausage is made here, Pisces. It's like, and this is what I mean by habits as well with that 10 of Cups. It's like you can have the great life. You can do the great things that you want to do. But there are, maybe there are some things behind the curtain that you have to, like habits that you have to develop that take up time. And so I feel like she is saying like peek behind the curtain. Don't be afraid to, dive into activities or things that you're working on or creating. Like dive deep, is kind of the energy I'm getting off of her. With the 10 of Cups, you have the High Priestess. There you go. Dive deep into your happiness as well. It's like I think Pisces knows that there are certain things that will make you happy. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it's like there are certain activities sometimes that I think we have to do that feel like a little bit of a burden, but not really, but kind of. And if we do those things, we know that they're going to lead to happiness, like work. It's like work can be a pain in the butt sometimes, but we also know that it will make us happy. Cleaning your house, right? I hate cleaning, but I still do it because I know that being in a clean environment is a good idea for me, right? And we have the 9 of Pentacles here, which is all about your environment. So I think that there's like something that I really, it's like a message I can't grab onto here, Pisces, in your reading, but it's like there's something here about this reading about like looking at the things that you know are going to have a positive outcome, but might be a little bit of like, it's not really a burden. I just think it's, these are little things that you have to do that are work, right? With the Knight of Cups, you have the Ace of Cups. Yeah, definitely could be a very solid love offer. I feel like it's like this could be a person who's rushing in. We have the Knight of Swords here. I feel like something happens that makes a person make a move. For some of you, you might find out that a person has liked you for a while, and I feel like all of a sudden something happens where they make a move. Like maybe they see something on social media, or maybe they hear something from one of your friends, like if it's a friend or something. And so don't be surprised if someone suddenly makes a move on you, Pisces, here. Looks good. I like it. With the High Priestess, you have the Six of Swords. Yeah, Six of Swords moving on to calmer shores. I do feel the next 3 months are going to just be kind of like a general improvement for you here, Pisces, and things are going to get better. You do have the Ten of Swords here. Ten of Swords is coming up in the good stuff, though, which is like a blessing in disguise. So you might be letting some things go as well. And Six of Swords is all about letting things go. We go up to the Ace of Swords, which is about cutting things out. Chariot, he's leaving the city behind him behind. So again, for a lot of you, it wouldn't surprise me if you're letting something go. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this Vulture Spirit. It says nothing is wasted. You have this Turtle Spirit. It says slow and steady wins the race. I feel a ton of Pisces feel like this right here, where it's like, I think if you're a Pisces and you're alive right now, today, and you're not dead watching this, then I would say that I think all Pisces are over the past couple years have been feeling like, I am this many years old, and by this age I should have accomplished this, and this, right? So it's like a lot of people, I think, we have these like societal rules that are placed upon us, like you have to get married by 30, or like all these little things, right? And so this is definitely a very Piscean thing right now, where it's like Pisces feels like I should have had these things at this age and I don't have them. I feel now we're finally getting to the point where we could see like why that is actually a good thing and why having had to wait is a good thing as well. And so I kind of actually feel this is like a little bit of a payoff, like as in, maybe you thought you would have been married by 30 and now you're like 40 and you're like, what the hell? But you meet someone amazing who is like the best person you could have ever found. It's like the wait, it's been worth the wait. Maybe that's what I'm trying to say. The Vulture makes perfect sense. Vultures are masters of conservation of energy. Vulture, the like totem meaning of the vulture is that, vultures soar around and they don't waste a lot of energy, right? They don't flap their wings until they see food. This is probably the key word for 2025, I said, is efficiency, where it's like we shouldn't be really like working hard, although that doesn't mean we shouldn't be working hard. I know I just contradicted myself, but not really. What it means is that we should be doing what is efficient and not just working on any old thing. Seven of Cups, he might be working on some things that are a waste of time. He might be working on some things that actually get him forward, that move him forward. But the problem is the things that waste time, right? So it's like, yeah, he moves forward, but he has the time-wasting activities and the good activities, and so he kind of moves forward slower. If he could cut out some of these things here, the bad things that are wasting his time, and do more of the good things, he would move forward much faster. And the Vulture is kind of like saying that for you. You have the Chariot, the Ace of Swords, and the Knight of Swords. The Chariot is like charging forward towards success. Chariot is all about setting yourself apart. The Chariot, he has this city behind him that he's leaving behind. I definitely feel some of you are leaving some things behind. I feel it's more, this is not like a physical thing. Like, sure, some of you could be moving. We still have Jupiter and Gemini for the most part this quarter. It will move out of Gemini in June. So, between now and June, if you're planning on moving, sure, go for it. You could be. But I really feel this is something more intangible. This is like you are letting go of belief systems, or you're starting to believe in yourself more. This is a great card of confidence. It says, where there's a will, there's a way. So if you believe something very deeply with the Chariot, you will accomplish it. I think the only challenge you're dealing with here in this reading is Seven of Cups. I said that you have to prove it at the beginning of the reading. You're not proving anything to anyone other than yourself, right? And I think that's something Pisces needs to realize. But what I would say is I think a lot of Pisces have a lot of ideas for their life. and they could be hesitating on those ideas, or they could be thinking like, oh, I won't be able to accomplish this thing. But you need to start having those small wins. Like the more you build that confidence and you start having small wins, the more likely it is that you're going to win. But the Chariot is definitely a victory. The Ace of Swords is also a victory as well. So definitely could be a victory coming in for you. Ace of Swords is also cutting one thing out so you can have something better. And a lot of you could be just cutting out the crap at this time and staying focused. I feel like you're getting to the point is what I felt like saying at the beginning of the reading. That's what I feel here with the Ace of Swords. So if you have had like a focus that's all over the place, in work, in business, in your health, in your love life, whatever, I see you getting much more, it's like you're not sitting on a fence anymore. Maybe that's a good way to put it, right? It's like you're making decisions and you're sticking to them. That's more the feeling I get off the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is a card of fortitude. It's a card of strength. And so it requires strength to not sit on a fence. And, I feel for a lot of you, that's what you're doing with that card. You have the Knight of Swords. Again, I get this feeling of someone getting motivated as well to move towards you. So if you want love, like I said, it's almost like something is happening where a person is saying like, oh my God, I'm going to miss out on Pisces if I don't do something. So again, don't be surprised if someone like all of a sudden pops up in your life wanting to take you out or something like that. I would say you're probably attracted to this person. We'll see. We'll clarify more here. But you have that Knight of Cups and the Ace of Cups, so I think you would be pretty happy about it. With the Chariot, you have the Three of Pentacles. Yeah, just like Gemini, you need to be number one. The Three of Pentacles, this guy here has done the work, and he's getting the credit for the work that he has done. These people are coming in a support position. They are lifting him up. They are guiding his vision, but ultimately, he is the one that's making a decision. It's like all successes are going to come from you. Over the next 3 months, Pisces, April, May, and June, right? It's like all your successes, all the things that are going to make you successful, they're going to come from your head. But, again, I think sometimes with the Three of Pentacles, we need to make sure that we're in the driver's seat, Chariot. You need to make sure that you're calling the shots, right? And not letting other people decide what direction you move in. Yes, are you kidding me? With the Ace of Swords, you have the Seven of Cups. Exactly like I said, I think I started talking about that on the Seven of Cups. It's like you're getting to the point of life or whatever it is you're doing. I mean, it is a pretty big picture reading. I think it's talking about a lot. With the Knight of Swords, you have the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, funny enough, I do feel like for some of you, it could be surprising because, this could be, you could be attracting a person who also is thinking, they could, like their mindset before you could be like, I'm just going to be single, so you could be attracting a person who's very independent. I feel like over the past like couple of years, you have learned to how to be independent, like truly. And so you could be attracting a very independent person. And I do feel these types of relationships are very good. Two independent people who don't need each other but want each other, can be very successful. Nine of Pentacles is also about focus. She has this falcon right here, and she is training her focus. That Ace of Swords is saying like, get to the point, pick a focus. So, that makes sense. In the last row here for the good stuff, you have this family and heritage card. It says it's time to get back in touch with your loved ones you have been away from. Yes, you've been a hermit since November. I definitely feel if there are people you haven't talked to, people you haven't spent time with, people you haven't checked up on, now is a good time. I also think that you could just be hearing from people you haven't heard from in a long time. And I'm not talking about lovers. It could be, but, it could be anything. You have this Pisces card. It says boundaries. It says set and honor your boundaries to avoid being taken advantage of. Three of Pentacles is really all you need to know. And the other boundaries are the boundaries you need to set for yourself. It's okay, 10 of Cups, 7 of Cups, to live in Pisces la la land for a certain amount of time every single day. But there is a cold hard backhand of reality that is in this reading. It's saying like it's fine if you want to daydream and live in la la land for a couple hours every single day, but like I said, there are those like underlying responsibilities that you have to make sure you're doing to allow you to do that, right? It's like if I don't do 4 videos a day, then things fall apart, right, for me. It's like that is the schedule I have to stick to keep things moving forward, right? So that's the responsibility. If I do those 4 videos a day, I can do whatever the hell I want after that, right? So that's what I mean. It's like there's a certain, I feel like this reading is saying there's like a layer of responsibility that you are adding into your life. So don't be surprised if you like change up your daily routine over these next 3 months, or if you decide like, there are some responsibilities that maybe you need to add into your daily routine to make your life better. But it's like that layer is very important. The responsibility layer, we're going to call it. It makes a lot of sense that this is coming up because of Saturn in your sign. So again, definitely set boundaries with that energy. You have the Seven of Swords, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Ten of Swords. Seven of Swords in the good stuff is about doing things in a different way. Again, there is a way that the world does things, and there is a way that Pisces does things. It is time for you, Pisces, to show the world how things are done, right? This is the world. This is how Pisces does things right here. Like a little bit of a joker, a little bit of a trickster. He's got these polka dots on his cloak. It represents him not taking things too seriously. He just has fun, enjoys the journey. I think this is the energy Pisces needs to get back to, is like being more fun, being more playful, being willing to just do things how you do them. And like I said, people aren't meant to understand Pisces. No one does. I don't even think Pisces understands Pisces. But, what I would say here is that it's like saying, don't be afraid to do things in your own way. And I'm speaking very generally because this is about everything that you do in your life. You have the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, I would definitely be working on your environment, like I said at the beginning of the reading. Again, we still have Jupiter in Gemini, which is going to be your 4th house. So that could literally be your home, where you live, the energy around you, the things that you do, the things that you deal with, and making sure you're surrounding yourself and creating like an environment of success is going to be important for you here, Pisces, with the Nine of Pentacles. So I would make sure that you're kind of, this could include like spring cleaning, but I would say it's deeper than that. I think this has to do with work as well, because I think that, having a daily routine is going to be very important. That could just be a layer of discipline that you're adding into your life, where it's like you wait, like, again, my routine is I wake up every single morning, and I didn't put the fish up today, but right here, right? See this right here? You can't actually see it because it's blurry, but I wake up and I start writing. So I'm writing for my newsletter every single morning. I start writing, right? That's like the first thing I do now. This is my new daily routine, and I've been sticking with it. I'm on day 11 so far of this new habit. I'm tracking the days. So, again, every single day I do this, right? And it's something that moves me forward, but it's a responsibility. Then after I'm done doing that, I do this. I do my 4 videos, right? And, I think having something in your environment, some sort of routine, will really move you forward. It is 6:52 a.m., right? And I only have 2 more readings to do, and I'll be done. So I'll be done by like 7:30ish, 7:40 maybe, right? And so by, the beautiful thing about this routine is by 7 o'clock in the morning, I've already done like basically a full day's work. So, that's what I think is important here with the Nine of Pentacles, is like creating that level of success. You have the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords, definitely letting some things go, but Ten of Swords and the good stuff can just represent a blessing in disguise. So there could be some sort of blessing in disguise coming in for you. With the Seven of Swords, you have the Six of Wands. Yeah, definitely victory energy here. We have 3 cards, Chariot, Six of Wands, Ace of Swords. There could be some sort of big win coming in for you. There is a lot of attention for Pisces in the astrology, pretty much for the rest of the year. So, you could be getting recognition. You could be standing out. You could be, and for the unusual ways for that you do things, sharing your perspective. What do you think I'm doing right now with the writing? It's like I have to find another way to share my perspective. So I'm just running an experiment, 90 days. I always run 90-day experiments, and I'm just going to see what happens, right? With the Nine of Pentacles, star, same thing. You are the star. You are meant to get attention. The best thing Pisces can do is stand out. Pluto and Aquarius. With the Ten of Swords, you have the Two of Cups. Yeah. See, this is 2 people who didn't think they would find love, is what this is with the Ten of Swords. So, if you want love, definitely could be attracting, kind of like a divine counterpart. Two of Cups is usually different than your usual type. So again, there probably is some sort of difference. Everybody gets the Two of Cups in love. I do think we're in a time where we could be attracting, like everybody is attracting a different type of person. You have this adaptability card. Yes, you are adaptable. You're a Pisces, 2 fish. You have 2 different ways that you can do things, and I feel you need to embrace that for sure. You have this bluff card. Yeah, if you're dealing with a past person, I don't think they think you're serious. So, I don't know, but I think you're dead serious here, Pisces. You have this extremism card. Yes, be careful of extreme ideas. Be careful of getting too excited by like what you see on social media and all that other stuff. Like right now, we're in a time where it's like we could be getting distracted by politics and all this other silly stuff. So just like no crazy reactions to things, right? That's like another thing that comes up for a lot of people actually, is that, if you're like freaking out on your uncle because he posted something about someone on social media, like probably a bad idea, so be careful. You have this control card. This card always reminds me of the world. It even is Capricorn. This card, Jupiter in Capricorn, and the world is Capricorn. There could be some sort of accomplishment coming in for you. I feel like you could be feeling like you're on top of the world. But again, I think there's some important things. Responsibility layer, and yes, definitely carve out some time to daydream and live in La La Land, of course, and also speak up. Don't be afraid to share your ideas, and don't just live your ideas. There's no need to share. With that Seven of Swords, he's just doing. He's not telling people this is the right way to live. That's not going to work. But living your life how you think it should be lived, and not letting other people tell you what to do, that's the secret. And finally, you have this risk card. Yeah, this could be a risk, like putting yourself out there, showing off, doing work, all that stuff. But this is a really good reading, Pisces. I love where this is going. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.